check and make sure it actually starts counting down. Because sometimes you think you hit the button and you didn't, and then you're like, oh crap. Hi everyone, my name is Camille and this is Camille's Dishes. This is my first video of my refreshed kitchen. I did a video that I posted last week where I showed you my backsplash. So today I'm going to be making Ina Garten's chicken chili. It's a 5-star rated recipe. I've made it once before, and that time when I made it I was really nervous about how it was going to come out, but it was awesome, and so I'm going to make it again. I'm actually making it to bring to a family member since we can't gather for the holiday. I'm going to bring it to him, and also I'm going to make some bread to go with it. So let's cook. I have my 6-quart Dutch oven. You also need a baking sheet because you roast the chicken in the oven. I have all of my ingredients here. I'm actually going to half the recipe because the recipe is for 12 people and that's just going to be way too much. I am hoping to save some for us here, but I think 6 servings is plenty, and it's probably actually going to be more than that. I'm pretty sure this makes a lot of chili. The recipe calls for 6 onions, or 8 cups, so we're halving that. So I have one big onion and 1 smaller onion. A 1/4 cup of garlic. I'm going to keep that the same because I love garlic. The spices: cumin, chili powder, cayenne pepper, and red pepper flakes. 4 cans of 28 ounces of tomatoes, so I have the equivalent here of half. Kosher salt, fresh ground black pepper. How much basil was it? I have the recipe right next to me. Basil. 1/2 cup of fresh basil leaves. This is fresh but frozen. 8 chicken breasts. Again, I'm halving it. It also says to get the bone in, but we just have boneless, which is fine. And 4 peppers of each. I'm just halving it. I think 2 1/2 recipe is going to be a lot, so I'm going to start with 2. And I might, that was everything, right? Yep. I might also use a little bit of chicken broth since we don't have the bone in, just to add a little bit of extra flavor. I always like to check and make sure it actually starts counting down, because sometimes you think you hit the button and you didn't, and then you're like, oh crap. coat it in the oil. Oh, it's like a big chunk I didn't cut. One thing that has absolutely helped my cooking a lot is having a great knife and knowing how to sharpen it. I do have a block to sharpen it on. I don't know what it's called. A whetstone to sharpen the knife. That is very important. And then the other thing is just to have some imagination and patience. I love to watch videos to get ideas and see the different techniques that people use. And I love to see the different techniques that people use, watching different cooking shows for the same recipes, or cooking, cooking channels on YouTube, not necessarily like cooking shows. So I was a little bit hesitant making this video because it is a 5-star rated recipe, and I just wasn't really sure if someone was going to want to watch my video about this recipe. And I think it's just important for a lot of people who are visual learners to see someone else doing it, and that's how I like to learn. That's what I like to do. So I thought I would just film it, and hopefully some people will want to watch it and then make this recipe. I also think it's really fun to see how other people might interpret a recipe and substitutions, because I substitute all the time. It's like an experiment too. I like to see what will work, and I might like it, I might want to change something next time, but that's all part of being in the kitchen.
I just want to do this. It seems easier. Alright. Some flour there. I'll eat this part. See, there's like no seeds. I love peppers of all colors. This one actually isn't really even that sweet.
Give this a stir. And some brown bits on there. Alright, I think we can add the garlic now. I have my tomatoes here. I canned these in September. They are peeled. There's seeds in them, whatever. And this next step is to crush them more. They are cut, but the next step is just to crush them up. So I'm going to put them all in this bowl. And when you can food, you want to make sure you hear that seal. So that popped beautifully. Oh, I smell it too. Make sure it doesn't smell weird. I don't know about that one. Smells really good. Alright. I'm not sure about this one, and I'm not gonna risk it. And salt. Oops. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so basil is in the pot. This is very colorful. Let me have you take a look. Very bright. Right, so we're going to cover this, and this is going to go for 30 minutes. Check on that chicken. Alright. I actually forgot to salt and pepper the chicken, so I'm just going to do it now. I think bringing fresh made bread when you go to someone's house is a really nice way to just bring some comfort. And no knead bread is really easy, and again, super customizable. I used to make this so often I didn't even need the recipe. Okay, 2 teaspoons of salt. Teaspoon. Gonna give this a quick little mix. Half teaspoon. Oh, that is not the yeast. Right here. Half teaspoon of yeast. Go. See if that water is warm. I need to reset my timer for 30 minutes. Make sure, okay, it's counting down. Alright, so this looks good. So, let's pour this in. And so since we're making this now, what I'll do is in the morning when I want to cook it, it will be ready. It will be ready in the morning for when I want to cook it. And then also, hopefully by the time that I arrive at the person's house, it will still be warm. I have some oil from sun-dried tomatoes. It has a little bit of the different spices in there. I'm just going to mix this in. Like, so you taste it. A little bit more than that. A little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Alright. And then I can also bring that oil with me, and it can be used for dipping. Alright, so we'll cover this, and then this will just sit overnight until we are ready to cook it in the morning. Alright, we got our chicken in here. I know a lot of people use the, what is that thing called? Stand mixer to shred chicken, but I don't know, it just seems like a lot of work. This is only 2 chicken breasts. It won't take that long. And it'll, you don't have to like get it so tiny, it will shred up more. once you get it in the pot. Just kind of rip it. Want to say hi to everybody? All shredded up here. I'm actually going to add a little bit of lemon. This is just my own little take on this, just to have some acidity. And let's check and see how our chili is doing. We still have a lot of water on top of the timer for 20 minutes, and then once you get to this point, oh, I put my utensil in the sink. Once you do the 35 minutes here, or it was like 35 to 40 minutes here, then you put the chicken in and do another 20 minutes. So I'm going to do this trick that I learned from a YouTube channel called Epicurious, where the chef actually has the sheet pan right on top of the stove. And just make sure that's lit, and deglazes it right on the stove. Just going to use a little white wine vinegar. Let that cook a little bit. And get all those nice juices from, and little brown. Alright, we will put that right in here. Let's see. Very good. Nice and spicy. You can definitely taste all the flavors, but they do definitely need some more time to come together. Alright, so our timer's gone off, and I will admit I had this on a little bit too high and a little bit burnt on the bottom, so just be careful about that. No big deal though, it's just, you know, kind of stuck to the bottom. It's not affecting the taste, thankfully, but sometimes we're just a little bit too heavy-handed with that heat. It's nice and chunky. You can really see all the ingredients in there, the garlic, the onions, the peppers, the basil. It's all beautiful. Let's add the chicken. Oh, this is going to be amazing. So just because I know we've already advanced the cooking a lot with how hot I had it on before, I'm going to move it to this back burner, which is a simmer burner, and do 10 minutes and check it, and then 10 minutes and check it. And then we should be done. This is actually pretty easy. So my chili is done. I removed it from the Dutch oven just to help cool it down faster, and put it right in here. Oh, I put my spoon in the sink again. This is the chicken chili. It is a bit more watery, but once it kind of sits, it will thicken up. So let's put this lid back on. So we'll just let that cool. And then once it's pretty much cooled down, I'm actually going to be putting it into my super cubes. So that's it for today. In the morning, I will bake the bread and show you the chicken chili are all portioned out in the super cubes. So this is the next morning. My chicken chili is all portioned out in the super cubes. This is a 1 cup and 2 cup portion set. The bag that I have is a gallon bag, and I labeled it with chicken chili and the date. And it fit really nicely in there. There's actually maybe room for 2 more 1 portion servings. Pop really easy out of the super cubes with no effort at all, and fit right in. This is a glamour shot of the bread that I made. It came out amazing. I added some Parmesan on top as well. which just made it extra delicious. And so this is the end of my video. I wanted to clean up with you and say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you like this video and subscribe. I put out videos on this channel every Sunday. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.